All right, now we are talking about organization, how we organize website. So after we have created these files and we know we are going to keep contents here, and now we move to the VS Code. See, the folders are right here and they're under these become now subfolders and they're under this folder, my website. If you want to create another folder inside here, you come on this new folder, and this is the one for file. So if you want to create an index file, say index.html. So here, when you click on file, you have to define the file extension. So if I put .php, I hope you see that even the icon changes. If I put .css, the icon changes. If I put .html, the icon changes. So it is a file because it has a file name and a file extension. Now we expect that in our folder here, we have this file now. Okay, so you can have the index file, the about us, create about us. Now you see this one I've not given it a file extension, and because I've not given it a file extension, it is not defined here. So I can either come here and I rename it as .html, and it is renamed here and here, but without a file extension it does not open because it doesn't know which file, which application it has to use to open. So now I hope you can now see that we have the about us, the index, and now if we host this website, you realize that when we look for it over the internet, it will load this page as the start page. So we may tentatively have about, we might also have contact us dot html, and then you might have another one, okay, services. You tell the people the services you deal with dot html. So now here I hope you can now see that now when we open our folder, my website, this is what we actually see. We see HTML files. This is a page, one page, another page, another page, another page. When we link all of them so that when you click here, there is a link that takes you elsewhere, then that actually becomes a website, because by definition, a website is a collection of web pages linked together. The word linked together is a marking point. If you leave it behind, then you may refer to index.html as a website. Yet it must have been linked to different pages so that it becomes a website. This is just a web page. A single page in a website. A single page, just like you see it, it's only one. A single page in a website is called a web page. All right. Okay, now given that we have known how to organize these files, we can put some sample images here, because we shall refer to them and see how we put in images and see how we can try to also edit those images. So this is the folder for images. I will look for some simple images here, and the ones I'm going to use, I can select randomly, probably. I copy them and paste them there. So inside images, we have got samples. and with the CSS we shall create the CSS. Now, for purposes of identification, you can rename them. Uh, can rename them, and then okay, we have them like that now. So shall move now to VS Code, and what we are going to do with VS Code, we are actually going to see how we can insert in something like an image, and then how we can style that image. So remember, when you know how to insert in something, when you learn to insert in something, you will actually learn how to insert the others, because the procedure is tentatively the same. Okay, so what we shall do, we shall put in the skeleton, and to put in the skeleton, uh, you press shift and then the exclamation, depending on the type of keyboard you have. Mine, the exclamation is on number one, so I shift from number one up to the where the exclamation is, uh, and you press enter. So when you press enter, it will give you the skeleton like that. That is the skeleton. The skeleton, we have this page here, the words, I mean, in the title element, they are the ones that will be put here. They are the ones that we shall always see somewhere here, up here. They are the ones that we shall always see. Whenever you click up here, it gives you some words. So they are the ones that we always see. Whatever we have declared here, it is what we always see there. Now our trial, can say our trial, and then when we come and run this, when you come here, you shall see index.html. Then when you come here, you need to see something like our trial. Okay, all right, it's okay. Now we shall try to write in something. Remember, we want to see how we inject in files in here. So now, for example, if we want to put in an image, of course it is an image, and with images, this is what we do with them, img source. Now with the source, you define where you stored the image, and where we stored the image according to this, we stored them inside img here. Stored them inside img. Okay, so I have a call here, and a moment, just about 20 seconds. Hello? Mangi? Hello? Kuulira? Mangi? Waggule naye kali awo ku buliri waliwo eyakataddewo anyway, nange nteeka nzewo ekali then nesigalawo. Sigaddeewo, ekisumuzo kiri awo ku buliri bwange. Si waggale, waggule. All right, so we put the images here, and this is the folder now we want to relate to. Remember, this is an IDE, so the moment you type in I, it will show you what is available in the folder of websites or my website, any folder that have created. So you just press enter and you go in that folder for IMG, and inside that folder you'll be shown Yakulaga. It will show you uh, the files, all subfolders that exist inside there. So what you do is you choose from N, you choose from N. Eh, so depending on what we want, we can decide to choose any image you want. So if you choose like now that one, uh, the alt here is the one that specifies uh, that if the image is not actually loaded, what do we tell the user? If it is not loaded, what do we tell the user? That is what it means. So depending on what you want to tell the user, you put it there. So here for me, I can say uh, failed to load image, to load image. Okay. So that if there is uh, a problem with the network, you tell the user that image failed to load image or network problem, something like that. So that is a trick we use in website development to tell the user that the problem is not with the website, but the problem might be with probably the internet. So when we want to see this, come here and why is the image not why is the image not working? Could there be a reason why it is not showing? Let's see which file is this. Let's go back and run index. So I think we put the image in another file. See, we put it in services. So what we do is we copy this and put it into this, and then we go and run again. So it must come. Now up here, I think you can see our trial, and now the image is here. It is very big. It is extremely big. Now, if it is big, what we are going to do is we are going to edit it. We are going to edit it, and then that means we are going to create a CSS file here inside the CSS side here. When you click on this and it goes away, it means you are in this folder. When you click in it and it moves down, you see this is down. So if it is like this, you are not anywhere. If it is like this, you are inside there. If we click in this and the drop down goes down, then we create something inside there. Style, say custom custom dot css. Remember, sometimes we use Bootstrap, so you may have very many files and you may tentatively not need to name any as style or CSS, or depending on how you've organized them. So the good thing is that whatever you name here is what you call this site. So there is nothing like framework. So when you want to link this one, we say link. You just write the word link, and then it gives you the style sheet. And what you have to do is to specify the folder. The folder is CSS, and inside CSS we have custom.css. Okay, and now all right. I think I have to close this. Uh, So we have linked this thing, and what we want from it is that we want to try to edit this image. It cannot actually look like this. It can't. We can't allow it to look like that. It is impossible. So we want to give it some width in CSS, and because it is labeled uh, image as, the image is as an element, it is an element, so it is known. Now we want to give it a width of probably 50%, and then we expect it to look now like this. Expect it to look like this, and we can also declare a height, for example, also 50%. Then we see that the image, okay, now it's okay. If this one is failing to work, we leave it. If it, we can give it margins, probably margins to the left, and we make them auto so that it moves to the left automatically, depending on the device, and then probably also to the right, make it auto, and can we can have it, we can, let me see, can put a border radius on it so that it looks a bit nice here. Border radius is that circle, we have the curve, this curve here. So those things I have always seen them in very many templates. They give them border radiuses, and they look nice. They give it 50 pixels, and we see, okay, at 50, it is not doing it very well. What do we do? Yeah, we can increase this one to 60 because you want to see it cut it. Okay, now we have some nice image. We give this 30, so that it will now looks like that. Or I can give it a 15 so that we have something like that. So now the same way you can write something inside that by declaring a div. You can have a div there, and inside that div you have this image, so that you give this one a class and you call it, you always call it whenever you want to make editings upon that. For example, if you want to move both of them to the center, you call the class of the division. So you choose any name you want, and then down here inside you can declare a paragraph, and then you put something like that. Okay, now what we are trying to do is will literally be the same as visiting this, and then you move to services, all about us. So when you move to this page here, you look at these images here like this now. You see, there is an image, and in the image we have these signs, social platforms, and then the same image, the same div, we have the paragraph and then some other thing on it. So you find that this can be achieved by something like a division. You put a division, and it is that division that does that. and these things of moving and coming back is JavaScript. So by doing that, you are trying to, you see, now when we edit this, it means we are editing. When we edit, we call a div, the class inside the div, then it means we shall be editing the whole of this. Okay, so I hope this code is tentatively clear, and I want to know if it is very, very okay before I move to something else. I hope it is understandable.
Yes.
Okay.
May you display the CSS part of it, please?
Oh, the CSS, this one, eh? Yeah, the CSS is that. CSS is tentatively that. And um, you can make other attribute, you can make other changes about it uh, as you may wish. But basically, with the CSS, you whatever you think about, given that you have worked with this thing of Microsoft Word, you can always refer to Microsoft Word and see changes. Bw'ogenda mu Microsoft Word noga I want to put these words in blue, then their font color. So even here in the CSS, that is actually what you call a font color, font family, so that in Word you go to font styles. So the difference here is simply that we actually try to we actually try to type in the commands. It seems like the CSS becomes the command line interface, and then the Microsoft Office Word becomes the graphical user interface. So that in Word you just click on those icons, you click in the one for bold, and here for us we can decorate, we can put font weight, so that if you have declared font style as sans serif, can declare the weight to be probably 600, so that if it is 600, then it means there will be added added thickness on that kind of text, and the border radius gives a curve on the edges. It gives a curve on the edges. That is what it is responsible for. The margins, make them auto, so that whenever we decrease this or increase, this one becomes flexible. It's automatic. So sometimes we put things that are supposed to be downloaded. In order to achieve that, you can put something in an anchor tag. First, you can put a paragraph and you tell a person probably click to download, click the link below. That is what I always see with some websites. Click the link below to download. So after that, what they do is that they put an anchor tag, and what they do now is to go in where that file is, img, for example. I will put that, and now they add in another attribute after the image. That attribute is download. Yeah, it is download. So okay, now after putting that, if it is actually an image, we have to declare. We have to here declare that we want an image img. Inside ngaonaga, now here I was going to write something so that it is reflected here. So that it is reflected here. Now, what we shall do is that let me go back. Now we want an image. This very one, it is the one we want. What we do here is that we put an image and the source is img. So you maintain this same thing, img, and the file is shapik. So that when we come here and refresh, we shall have this thing. And the moment we click in it, it will show here. But we want to achieve that idea of downloading it. We want to achieve that idea of downloading it. Okay. All right. Let's go back and see. Have an anchor tag, and inside the anchor tag, we have this image of ours, and inside the image, we have this. But as I think it is not working because it might not be supported. The download attribute might not be supported in some of the browsers. So you may find that when you run it to your browser, it will do that. And you find that on some other browsers, it may not. Okay, but that is how we put those things. And on some others, for example, if it is a file, a PDF file, let me look for one here. The W internet. We look for something here. Seats. Okay, I get this one, and this as a file. I put it in desktop websites. My website. I put it in here. Let me put it here, and the one we want now is the one we want now. It's ESK, and yeah, it's ESK. So when we move back here, why is it not there? Yes, it is not there because it is not an image. True. It is not there because it is not an image. True. Cannot call it an image. Let's come here. It's not there because it is not an image. So I hope we are not confused by that. We are in index.html. So when we click in this one and have that file loaded for us, then you are in position to download it to your storage. So that is how we put in images as for images. And now with the linking pages, for example, if we are using this as a trial, paste that there, paste that here, and services. So you see all these files have something. So what we do is, of course, everything lies inside the body. So inside the body, you can create a division, and inside that division, you put it, give a class as title. And what we want to do is that we want to basically create uh, something like an interface where we can find all those pages, the links where we can access all those links. So we want a class here, class titles. So those titles can be in form of paragraphs, but the paragraphs, you can put the paragraphs inside an anchor tag. Or if you don't want, you can leave uh, you can leave the paragraph, and then you use the anchor tag themselves, just like here, so that you put something here. So depending on, now we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have 4 pages. So you say an anchor tag times 4, so that we get 4 anchor tags like this. So this is the first one, this is the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. So I have put an A times 4 to mean that we want to create 4 anchor tags, and we specify that, of course, we have 4 files. That is why I have created 4 anchor tags. So the other thing we do is that here in the href, what we put there is actually the location where these pages are found. So because these ones are not in any folder, we want to ensure that probably we have this as home, and we have, depending on how you want to organize them, osobola okuzzaako services, n'ozzaako about us, awo n'ozzaako osobola okuzzaako something like now the last one is contact, of course, contact us, so that when we move back, we have something like this: home, services, about us, contact us. So in order to edit these ones differently, the anchor tags differently, you can give all of them a class. Now, when this is a trick that probably you may not find over the internet, when you want to apply one class on all of these, you see they are following the same line. You hold the Alt key on the keyboard, and you also click here, and you also click here, and click here while holding the Alt. So anything you write is written everywhere. So I want to give this thing a class, a class that will hold. Okay, we name that class home. So remember, now I have put this thing. I have not copied and pasted, but I've written it at once. So when you want to get out of this mode, you click anywhere. So I have given these things home, and that when you want to make any editings on all of these ones, Because sometimes you might call this class and the class might not be in position to help out on something. Okay, so inside here, the home is of course the index. The moment you type I, it will give you that, and then you fill it there. This is services. The moment you type in S, it will look into the folder and find anything starting with an S. When you put A, it will find anything starting with an. When you put now this is contact us, you type in C, you put that. So we want to move to the contact to these pages, and you create a paragraph which will say this is a contact us page. Okay, that is in contact us. I shall copy this and put it in services also. Come here and say this is a services page. Okay, so we come here and then we say this is the default page named index, named as index page. Okay, so this is contact us. So what we can do is we can put something like this, and we say this is about us. Yes, about us. This is an about us page. So what we have actually done is that we have moved ahead to edit something so that whenever we be moving around these pages, we see some changes. This is the default page named as index. But now these ones are small, very small. We need to change the. So you come on this class titles, the CSS, and we come to .titles, and inside the titles we have an anchor tag. It is what we want to edit. Size, font size, give them 20 pixels. So I think you can see they are becoming bigger now. Let's give them 40 so that we can have them bigger like that now. But they're having no spaces. Let's try to display them as flex and see. Oh yeah, they are already in flex actually. So we can pad them to the left and we see. Adding left. Oh, okay. And pixels. Okay, good. Now I think you can see the spaces. What I've done here is that I have padded them to the left. So towards the left, I have created these pixels from here up to here. These are the pixels that are there. You make them 20 like that. So that is how they are. And can text align them to the center. Okay, so sometimes align content, align items to the center. Okay, let's call this title, and we align items to the center. I will start fading to work. Is it align or text align? Let's try to put text align and you see the center. Okay, it has gone there. So it is text align. Sure. Okay. All right. Now, expect that now when we click in services, this is a service. Now we didn't link, might not have linked services page because we wanted the image. You see, we didn't link the style sheet. So what we do is to copy and then move to the services page, and here we paste so that we get the custom editing, so the CSS. So this is a service page. Why is it not showing something like what is shown here? Okay, now we didn't put this, so you have to copy it and put it there. So now the only difference with PHP as a language, these things we are putting, you can create on one file called the header file, header.php, and we just call it by saying hash, can call it in this way, php include, can include header.php, and whatever that is in that thing, whatever that is in this file here is brought here, is pasted here whenever you are loading. So with PHP, the load is limited. You only create a folder, I mean a file here that has these things, these ones, the headers, these titles, and you call it probably header or titles. And here where they are supposed to lie, now we would remove here. We would remove that and we put only this. But now with HTML, we have to put these things, these ones, we have to put them everywhere in our pages. So that is how PHP will be very good. And this is, we use something like this to refer to any page. Now, it's okay, given that after this we shall move to PHP sometime in front there. So, because we have put it there, it comes so that when we move to services, we move to index, services, about us, and contact us. So they are typically now linked. So if we know how to link these things, then the better. That means that we know that we can jump from this one to this one, we edit this and the other. So according to the roadmap today, that is actually what we are supposed to answer, to attempt. And I actually beg to stop here, but I want any questions from you before we end up this session. So questions are welcome. I'll share this thing we have done so that you can actually relate to it.
Okay, thank you so much for the presentation.
Mm,
My question is,
mm,
as we are making this website, is it by adding that auto keyword in CSS, does it make it responsive? Like
Yes,
as per now, the way it is right now, is it
of course, when you define it as auto, then it will be responsive. You see how it is becoming smaller. So when you are
yes?
moving across devices, then it will be automatic. It will change its dimensions in accordance with the screen size.
Okay, thank you so much. At least I've learned a lot today. Even I've learned that. Thank you.
Mhm. All right, welcome. So another question before we close?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, thank you for the representation.
Mm.
For me, I just want to ask, how do we create a link for our website?
A link, eh?
How do we create it?
So that you send it to someone and that someone clicks in it and then they go to that website.
Yes,
That is the question, eh?
yes,
Okay, now the first step is to, because whenever you want to buy land over the internet, you have to buy something we call a domain name. A domain name is the one they identify us over the internet. And for example, with this one here, this is a domain name. This one, summittechworld.com. So whenever I want to share this to you, uh, I'll just come to the charts here and I paste it there. So that when you want to access the website, you click in it and then it takes you directly to this. Now, once you have bought this thing, and where do we buy it? We can buy it from things like now this one. This is called Hostinger. Hostinger is a web hosting service that I personally use with my company to host some of the sites. So once you are in Hostinger, there are domains here, domains section, the section for domains. If you want to create a website, for example, for a school called St. Mary's SS or St. Mark's SS, come and click in get a domain. Come there. Now this one will ask you to put in the name you want. St. Mary's SS or St. Mark or anything, and then you search and put a .com. Any errors you see, you rectify. Name should be at least 3 characters long. Okay, let's first see. I think there must be a problem here. They don't want those full stops, I think. Now we want this one, but we want a .com, eh? So we click in this. If you want a .net, you click in that so that this changes. If you want a .online, you click and it changes like this. Now we want a .com. Now there is also this other idea. Now find domains. This has been invented by technology. You know, you can generate now these days you can generate a domain using an AI. So when you click here, it will auto generate for you a domain. You put a keyword and it auto generates. But once you know what you want, you come here and put it there and you search. By searching, this service looks over the internet and sees if there is nothing matching this. And if it is not there, then it will return the amount you have to pay to buy that space. So when you put, what happens when you put one that is already there? Now like this one, what happens when you have put something that is already there? Search. It searches and it tells you we have found the one with this, but I wanted the one for .com. Now let me put the .com and I search. Okay, let me remove this now and I put it like that and I search. So it will never give me the one for .com because the one for .com is already taken. So it gives me other options and then the amount. So if you are interested in any, you buy. So you must have your visa and then they take those details. Once you have bought, you come here on websites and then you come to that website. Provided now we have bought this one, you come to manage. When you come to manage and you want to host it over the internet, you click there. When you click there, it now opens. When it opens, you'll be in position to to see the files. Now this is the default folder where you have to put your website and you open it. Now inside here, these are sites. These are the major website is now this one we opened. It is the one that we have here. It is this one having index. See, its index page is this, and all the other pages. We simply come to our files here and we highlight them like this and we paste them. Now let us host this one we have created. What we do is, because now this is already the real location. When you put an index here, it means anything that resides inside here will be the one that is loaded. Now we want to host this thing as a subdomain. So what we do is simply create a folder, and the created folder we can put try like that. So inside public HTML, whatever you put here, any index file you put here is what will be loaded when someone moves to the internet and they put in this link I have given you. This link. Yeah. So for our sake, we have created the trial, and to host it, what we do to host it is simply to come in these folders here and we put them here. So something loads here. When it finishes loading, you will see those files there. And how do we access them? By accessing them, you come to this and you slash the folder name. Just like you. Now this one, I don't know if it has finished loading. Okay, good. It has finished loading. So this thing is live. Now when I send you this thing here, you'll be in position to see what we have made today. This one, you click in it in your site, in your on your laptop, or if you are using a phone, and see. So that is hosting. As simple as that. We have created the website, we have hosted it in Nominate. Things are very simple. Don't need sometimes to complicate them. Now this thing we have created is the same as coming to your file manager here, because we said earlier on that we host these things over a www directory, World Wide Web, and now let's consider this as the www directory. And what we do, we open the www directory, and this is where we put the URL, the location where I want to access that thing from. Assuming that now this is the directory and we have opened, we have different websites on the www. There are different websites, and one of them is summittechworld.com, and inside summittechworld.com we have an index file inside it, and it is the index file that will define the location of all the other files. So that is what that is all about, the internet and the hosting things. Inside there you have an index file in your website that will be the one that will define and call upon all the others, so that when you click here you get into courses. But what has been loaded first is the index file. So I hope now that is very clear. And if there are no other questions, I hope and suggest we end the session from right now. If there are no questions, I suggest we close up for today.
All right, thank you, sir, and have a good night.
Okay. Masaka campus, I'll share, as I told you, I'll share the link so that those who are not following follow up up to here where we are. So we'll be very good to go.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Is it fine like you share the next activities that you're going to handle, or it's you to come and then you tell us what you're going to handle?
Okay, now I always share a roadmap of the whole week, what we are supposed to do. But maybe I think some have just joined the group. You know, when you join messages that were put earlier on, you are not in position to see them. So probably
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
the
I get.
issue. But I'll share the roadmap earlier on for next week.
Right.
Mm, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Welcome. Welcome. So I suggest that you can now sign out.